I have safely returned to my big, comfy chair. Last year, when I was gone this long, I came back with a movie about zombie Confederate soldiers. Thank God there's not another one of those. Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. Fuck! I never thought I could feel so free. Flying away on a wing and a prayer. Who could it be? Believe it or not, it's just me. Yes, it's true. Curse of the Cannibal Confederates was a remake to a movie made 2 years prior called Night of Horror. Night of Horror? What an original title. I think that could also serve as the alternate title to every horror film I've ever seen. But why are there 2 Ghost Confederate movies? Who saw the original and thought, this totally needs to be done again? Wait, you mean both movies were done by the same director? The director remade his own movie? Because that worked so well for The Vanishing. And what kind of director feels the need to tell the same Ghost Confederate story twice? What's this? The film you're about to see is a depiction of an actual event? Yes, in that the Civil War was an actual event. That's like claiming true story on Shockwaves or Dead Snow, because there actually are Nazis. I'll give it this, it leaves the text up long enough to read it 5 times. You could have summed it up in 3 seconds by just writing, "The filmmakers are full of shit."
And fear ruled our lives.
Either that's the movie, or Satan is trying to communicate with me. This is what happens when you get 20-year-old David Lynch to direct your Civil War reenactment. Oh, I like this. The title is so generic, I think they put the name over a piece of construction paper. And what's with the piano score? The hell, could they not afford some Richard Marx? Wait, what? Starring Tony Stark? That would make for an interesting bonus on Iron Man 3. For the post-ending credit scene, just show this entire movie. Okay, let's get this story rolling. Wow, that was about as exciting as opening a door and walking through it.
Well, I knew you were staying in San Antonio for a while and just got back up to the Bay Area.
I've had some thinking to do.
I have to be perfectly honest, I just got over having the flu and my ears are still a bit clogged. So either it's just me who can't understand what they're saying, or this movie has really shitty sound. Experience is telling me this movie has really shitty sound. I'll just assume this is Mick Fleetwood approaching Lindsey Buckingham. I'm sure something important is being said here because, not exaggerating, this scene goes on for an entire 10 minutes, and the director loves this shooting the actor's back angle so much it never changes throughout the scene. These 2 guys talk about everything from depression to drug abuse to their fathers, all leading up to our main character telling the tragic story of what happened on his RV trip with family. You needed 10 minutes to set that up? Here's another example of dialogue in that scene.
Man, we've played warm-up for Over the Hill rock groups. Now, this new album, especially with the single doing so good.
Look, just don't worry about it, huh? I won't let the group down.
Was that exchange really necessary in setting up this movie's story? In fact, why is this movie told in flashback? Now I know that this guy survives. Not that it matters. I'm sure the movie would have been so suspenseful otherwise. Hey, wait a minute. That's the same feminist chick from Curse of the Cannibal Confederates.
Listen, you men are all brainwashed to think that women are weak.
Oh, I'm so glad this character is in 2 movies.
Ladies, food will be served, right? What kind of food? Whatever you can come up with on the range.
Oh, listen, we were promised some outdoor cooking when we signed on to this crazy cruise.
Is it just me, or is her performance a tiny bit better than it was in Curse of the Cannibal Confederates?
Hey, why'd we stop? Are we there?
I guess once you do 2 Ghost Confederate movies, you sorta lose some of the passion. Which is funny, considering how this actress also wrote the script! These 2 guys are brothers, and their goal in this trip is to track down a cabin left to them by their deceased father, or to get laid.
The way the morning light hit her, the way she smiled, almost glowing, I knew then that I definitely had to get to know her better.
Is he talking about the brunette or the other girl's sexy ear in the mirror? Wait, I think I know how this ends. He's gonna buy a power drill and kill a bunch of homeless people. Or if the next 5 minutes are any indication, they're heading to the Valley Lodge. It's one thing to have your movie look like Manos, but to have it paced like Manos as well, you may as well have simply set out to officially remake Manos. Oh, thank you, movie. Now I know what the view from under a bridge looks like. God, porn doesn't have this much filler! This movie is Jerry on wheels, only this movie doesn't have that film's exquisite scenery.
It's not a horror story. He didn't just write horror stories, he also wrote some beautiful poems. Would you like to hear it?
I know that nod. That's the, I'm gonna go ahead and say yes, even though I'm not 100% sure I'm gonna see this girl naked nod.
I got back up front with Jeff, so she was spending a lot of time catching Z's in the back. And it was a little more comfortable in the back anyway.
We're talking about seats now? Please tell me the Gecko brothers are hiding out in this RV. I need something interesting to happen. Colleen, the brunette, is basically the movie's equivalent of Blind Kiyomi from Curse of the Cannibal Confederates. Only I don't take her as seriously, because Colleen isn't a wise blind Asian lady.
Don't talk about me like I wasn't here.
I can't tell if that's a microphone on the bottom of the screen, or if someone wiped their ass on the lens. But honestly, I can see why this movie gives the characters more rambling dialogue than in Curse. It's because you don't want to make waste of this movie's great line delivery.
That's all. You would divorce 2 wives, leave 2 families, spend a fortune on 25 acres and a cabin that are so far out in the backwoods that no one could find you, and you'd say you were straight in the head, right? Stop taking his part.
Wow, that wasn't just one emotion, that was all of the emotions. Best keep driving, though. We don't have enough of that footage yet.
So we drove on for another couple of hours. Susan and Colleen made some sandwiches, and we all had some beer.
Civil War letter readings aren't this meandering.
Center Road, in Nevada. And just outside beautiful Marin County.
Oh, nice. Even the frames don't care about your dialogue. Also, maybe it's just me, but I don't think the RV is moving in the interior shots. No wonder it's taking them so long to get to the cabin. But that doesn't stop him from hitting someone who the audience never sees. But apparently the characters did.
Oh well, then better get back on the road or we'll never make the cabin tonight.
Oh my god. At this point, if they don't run into the geek, I'm gonna be extremely disappointed. At least that movie gave us a nice lesson on Bigfoot in the first 20 minutes. Colleen begins having flashbacks to... Really? That's supposed to be the actual Civil War? This director is most certainly no Ken Burns. But eventually the muffler in their RV goes out, forcing them to stop.
That is really great. That is just what we need.
Sounded like the muffler. Maybe the whole exhaust system is shot. We better not move till I can check it out.
Holy shit, is that the door talking to him?
We'll just have to camp here. It won't be the first time anyone's done it. It won't be the last time.
He makes a good point. This isn't the first time that somebody has camped.
She claims the meditation helped her to erase the voices she used to hear as a child. Pure imagination, of course, but...
Whoa, way to set fire to the previous scene. Okay, now that they're camped, maybe the ghosts will show up.
Who are you? What's wrong? Wait, others? How many of you are there?
You know why the ghosts aren't showing up? You're putting them to sleep! On the other hand, she did seem to summon a roaming John Tesh and his haunted piano. After communicating with the dead, Colleen returns to camp.
And what do you think you can do?
We can hold a seance.
Are you sure you want to go through with this?
I don't want as much as I have to.
I totally believe you two are right in front of each other, saying these lines. Oh, thank God, this movie is killing my VCR. But don't forget about REO Speedwagon here, who is still out in the woods.
And I tell you, I've never seen anything like it. I saw ghosts. Ghosts. And I saw people who had fought and died in the Civil War over 100 years ago. Talking.
Interesting how he describes this event the same way he describes seeing a floating pig while dropping acid. The group then decides to hold a seance to find out why the Ghost Confederates have returned.
We will volunteer unit. We join because we believe we were seasoned unit. And our captain, he led us in campaign after campaign. In battle after battle. Through all he led us bravely. That last battle in the...
God damn it! I can't even fall asleep! This movie is so fucking boring that my urge to sleep has fallen asleep! But thank God there's more reenactment home movie footage.
But in the battlefield, the 20,000 dead men.
What? No. That's not a war song. This is a war song!
Some folks are born made to wave the flag. Ooh, they're red, white, and blue. And when the band plays hail to the chief, ooh, they point the cannon at you. Now.
I wish it was playing Creedence, because this scene decides to play the entire 4 minutes of that song.
How many more?
Now I can see why the ghosts are pissed off. They had terrible music to listen to back then. Oh, I'm sorry, the ghosts are still talking. Nice to know the snake from Harry Potter made a living doing dub work in the late 70s.
Our unit was ordered out.
Alright, I've got to apologize in advance, because you're about to see me do something that I've never done in the history of this show.
They come up there, but they could find his head. We know where it is. He saved us, and we won't neglect him. He took us his life, and for now we saved his life. We could not keep, but we have this faith. They could have now. They now face his death. A new life in our eyes alone. She is the one we have been waiting for. It is her help we seek.
Sorry. Not that it really matters, because I can still tell you that the gist of what they said is that they need to return the severed head of their captain to his body, and that Colleen is the reincarnation of the captain's wife. How do I know this? Because the movie itself sums it up.
They actually thought that Colleen was the reincarnation of a woman from over 100 years ago.
Thank you for droning on and on for 7 fucking minutes when you were still gonna give us the Cliff Notes version in 1 sentence. So what do you think happens next? Well, I'll tell you what happens next. They find the skull of the captain and return it to its body. Though it gets kinda weird when our lead begins to get jealous of the